frame it up for you, okay? So the way this story ends is Thanksgiving Day. I had a naked man feeding me pie. I think that's beyond nice. I mean, I think that is the most sublime experience possible on this planet, you know? And like, I told that story to my roommate, and she was like, oh, what kind of pie? Yeah, so let me circle back because I have to tell you I am married. Married 30 years. I mean, I don't have a ring. You'll notice I have a dent. Because what happened is, I came home about 9 months ago and found the FBI was taking away my husband in handcuffs. I know, didn't see it coming, and, I was kind of in shock. I mean, I'm embarrassed to admit, like, the only thing I could think of at the moment to say was like, wait a minute, when's trash day? I swear to God, you don't process this stuff all at once, you don't. Turns out he was using the internet to arrange to have sex with a teenage girl. Naughty, beyond naughty, depraved, you know. And it's like, okay, I didn't see it coming, didn't see it coming because I didn't marry a bad boy. You know what I'm saying? I married a professor. You know, I made that trade-off that we make in our 20s where you, like, give up the idea of ever having fun again, and in return, you have, like, stability in a Toyota Prius, you know? But that's not how it played out, you know? So I had to go see him, like, where he is now, actually, which is at the Federal Detention Center at 7th and Arch. You guys know that building? Which I think is kind of ironic to have a detention center there because it's like Northern Liberties, but without the liberty. So he's there, and it's hard to get in. You have to be processed. It takes about a month of paperwork, and then there's all these rules. Like if you go on the website, it's like no short skirts, nothing low cut, nothing too tight, no hats, no scarf, nothing green. It's like nothing green. I called them, what's up with that? And they said, well, that's what the prisoners wear. And I'm like, so what? You're afraid we're gonna clash? Like, clear the yard. I couldn't even look. But, I got in. Well, it was hard to get in, too, because I kept setting off the metal detector, like, beep. I'm like, what? Beep, what? And, there were, like, these mafia wives in the waiting room, and they're like, honey, are you wearing an underwire? Like, it's like, you gotta run to Kmart and get a different brand. And it's like, it gets to be kind of a community in the waiting room of the detention center, because everybody goes up to the machine, and we're all, like, taking off our bling, and all that. You're like, come on, Letitia, you can do it. So, it's kind of naughty, I don't know. So you get in, and this is what he says to me. I finally get to see him. He goes, Margie, I want to make it up to you. How do you make that up to somebody, that you were trying to have sex with a teenager? Like, what are you going to do, like, bang an old lady and split the difference? Like, go by from his window. He's like, want to take you on a double-decker bus ride? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, that'll do it. I'm like, yeah, let me think about it. Like, who gets the window? I mean, like, what kind of, but it didn't hit me. It didn't hit me, like, because if you ever go through something, you gotta, like, process, like, the practical stuff first, and, like, I didn't know how to change the CD in the Prius, and it's like, he's looking at 10 years, so, oh my God, already? That's a long time, to be listening to, like, Paul Simon, concert in the front. Like, I know all the words to me and Julio, let me just say. But so let me get to the point. So finally I crash. I'm skipping things. Finally, it's like, what do you do? Finally it hits you. What do you do with all this anger and sadness? I'm like, what do you do? Now that Oprah's not in the air, so I went to a blues bar, but like it was in Chestnut Hill, so like the musicians, like they'd never been through anything, so they were like, boom, 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 boom. Mildly inconvenienced, So I was like singing like a different song, and they were like, shut up, and I was like, well, give me something to wallow in, and like I got thrown out, and I said, is this the lowest point, like getting thrown out of a blues bar for being too sad? But let me wrap up this at the bell. The point is that you start putting your life back together, and I went to a party and I met somebody, and let me just say, like, he's a little freaky. and he's Jewish. And he bakes. So the moral of this story is, if your life ever falls apart and you hit your lowest point ever, if you can just keep your head up high, and if you can just keep love in your heart, at the other end, there might be a naked man feeding you pie.